All right, well, we can go to Washington now and speak to Antonio Ginatta, who is the U.S. Advocacy Director of Human Rights Watch. Thank you very much for joining us. You would want this execution to be delayed. Explain to us why.
We have requested a delay. We've requested a stay in the execution. We believe that Mr. Leal has a strong argument that he was denied consular assistance, and we believe that that the U.S. needs to respect the holding of the World Court that it has not offered assistance and consular access to Mr. Leal. So we have asked for that stay.
The Obama administration have taken a keen interest on this because essentially they think that it would set a bad example, so that if people are executed in the U.S. when they didn't have the right access to consular help, then the same could be done to American citizens abroad. Is that your understanding of it as well? And if so, what does a delay in the execution actually achieve? I mean, are they going to overturn the verdict and declare the conviction unsafe?
Sure. Well, let's look at first, under international law, under the Vienna Convention, there is a right for foreigners who are detained in a country to have to be notified that they have the right to access their consulate, to access diplomatic officials. So that protection applies also to U.S. citizens who are somewhere else. So the Vienna Convention actually protected people and was actually used in cases like the hostage taking in Iran back in the 70s. So there is an interest in the United States, there should be an interest to respect the protections of the Vienna Convention. Now, if Mr. Leal were to succeed in the claim that he was denied consular assistance, it would give the opportunity for the courts at the state level to review whether he was appropriately given access to consular assistance and whether that consular assistance would change the outcome of the findings of the court.
Well, let me just read to you a quote by the U.S. Solicitor General Donald Verrilli. He says, "The imminent execution of the petitioner would place the United States in irreparable breach of its international law obligation." Do you agree with that? And do you really think that this will have an impact beyond, obviously, the fate of this particular man?
We very much agree that this would have a very detrimental impact on the U.S. internationally. It is an interesting situation. It's the Supreme Court of the United States that has held that the Vienna Convention is not self-executing when it comes to consular notification, which means that there needs to be a domestic change in the law, which has not happened. Now, what has changed in the last few days is that the Senate, through Senator Leahy, there's been an introduction of a new bill, that's Consular Notification Assistance Act, and it would require consular notification. So with the domestic legal change, there would be an argument that we would be in compliance, but right now we are not in compliance. And I very much agree with the Obama administration that it would be detrimental to the United States if this execution were to take place.
Antonio Ginatta from Human Rights Watch, thank you very much for joining us.